All right. This is Sid here, also known as Lucifer, business and spiritual consultant. Um, okay, so today I'm going to talk about Asmodeus. Because I think it's a good thing to talk about Asmodeus. I was watching. I'm usually good at siphoning out spirits' personalities when I start working with them. And Asmodeus is not a spirit that I have worked with a lot. Shit, I don't even think it's a spirit that I had that much in common with. Um, you know, I have known of him for a very long time, of course, but since because of my religious background, I was never that interested into speaking or how do you say trifle with his like. No offense. Um, the reason why I'm saying this is because I understand that I might influence people into doing certain things, and maybe the change scared you a little bit. Maybe the change of behavior that you have kind of you know shaped you a little bit, right? So the thing when you work with Asmodeus, when I work with Asmodeus, um, some people call him the demon of lust, right? He's the demon of lust. I did a excerpt on my website that explained my perception of why he's the demon of lust. And in my experience, I did feel a heightened sense, not sense, a heightened, um, an elevated level of lust. But I wouldn't say lust. I would say like more sex drive, right? Um, he will indulge you in excess, and but it's a controlled excess, right? Like I said before, I was watching another video that kind of confirmed what I was feeling. Not that I needed confirmation, but it was still interesting that this person had the same experience. Not that I would doubt this person um, in any way. Because this person was very experienced in the occult, a lot more, not the occult, but in demonology, a lot more than I am. Well, I think anyway. Well, from a positive standpoint, because my experience with demons, since I was coming from a religious background, was more of a negative aspect. Like, so I knew them only so I could not be fooled or hurt by them, right? If there ever was things like that going on. But now, on the other side of the fence, I can honestly say that yes, you do feel more vigorous than usual, right? But it's not uncontrollable. It's not craziness. It's more like you need this right now, and you should have it. That's more how it looks like, right? It's not just, oh, sex. You know what I mean? Like, here's sex, have it now. No, it's more like you deserve this. You should have this because you deserve it. Right? It's not you should do this because I want you to do this, and you should do it because I do it, and since I do it, you should do it too. No, it's more like you should do that because you need to do that. You should do it because you should not feel bad for wanting this, right? Like you don't need to feel bad for wanting this. This is normal. This is natural. So it's kind of like you're kind of like learning. It's like learning about the birds and the bees a little bit, right? It's kind of like learning about the birds and the bees more than just plain crazy sex drive and wanking off all the time and shit. It doesn't feel that way at all, actually. um Not even a little bit. But you do obviously you still have a like he there's some energy in there, like there's a little bit of a deviation in your everyday pious life, and then a demon, let's do this shit because we are who we are, and that's what we do. um but in and the other thing that's interesting, that's kind of like connected to that, is the fact that it's your rage level, right? It's the same thing for your rage. It's not your anger. It's not uncontrollable. It's not you're not. He's a he's also known to be a demon of wrath, but the wrath you feel is a very focused wrath. It's not you just get pissed off for any reason, right? Like you don't, not at all. Actually, you just, well, you kind of noticed, if you look closely at my videos, you kind of notice that I've been a bit wrathful lately, and especially since the Asmodeus section, um, I've been very wrathful, and but it's still a controlled wrath, because it's like I know what I'm saying, and I know that I'm right. It's just the way that I'm saying it. Like, it's not my voice, it's his voice that's saying what I'm saying, right? But it's still my thoughts, but it's my thoughts said like he would say it, right? Kind of, more or less, 50-50. Because, like I said, you still have control over everything. You have control over your subconscious, you have control over your conscious, you have control over what you want to say. But the way it comes out wrathful, it comes out angry, right? And that's Asmodeus, right? That's not 100%. That's like, it's a 99.9% you and 1%, Asmodeus. So it's interesting. It's an interesting process, and you don't feel angry all the time. You don't feel angry all the time. I would say the contrary. Instead of holding back all the time, instead of, not that I have a problem with, you know what I mean? Not that I need to hold, not that I'm somebody that has a problem holding back or something like that, but whether you need it or not, it's still, it kind of removes the guilt of being angry, because everybody, when they get angry, no matter who it is, when you get angry, you kind of feel bad for being angry, right? Especially if you hurt somebody, while you were angry, especially if you said something hurtful, or or something like that, right? So you're gonna feel bad after, right? But with Asmodeus, you don't feel bad. You feel kind of, I hate to use the word, but it's the best way I can describe it. Uh, you feel righteous about your anger because you know you're right. So there's kind of like this part of you that's like, I'm angry, but I know I'm right to be angry. So there's no way I'm gonna feel bad. Like, like that subconscious, like, icky feeling when you get angry after you get angry. Now you're kind of like, I'm angry, and I know for a fact that I'm angry. I'm not being crazy. I'm not being insane. I'm angry for a good reason, and there's nothing anybody can tell me. Like, like there's nothing nobody can tell me. I know I'm angry for a good reason. So that's this wrath. It's like, I don't even know, because he's not known. If you read theology, he's not. They say, oh, he's the demon of wrath and shit. Like, so it already has a negative connotation. You already feel like, oh, Asmodeus has to be like this, super angry guy that's just, goes fucking nuts, like off the fucking rails all the time, right? But it's actually quite the opposite. It's a very, but like I said before, from my experience, what I know from working with him, before really letting him in, is he's very disciplined. He's very military like, right? He's a very military like if you there's some people that are um not audio niscient, but visual, right? They're like I have I can see things when I watch TV, right? So, like, I watch TV, but I'm not really watching TV. I'm actually watching spirits talk, right? So and I also hear, right? So those are different kind of psychic abilities, right? Some people hear voices, some people see things, right? And they see and hear it, right? And some people are both, right? Um, I'm a bit of both, right? So if you are video seeing, whatever, um, clairvoyant, right? And you are a kind of person that sees spirit, the way that you're gonna recognize Asmodeus, if Asmodeus is in your life, if you're working with Asmodeus, if you let Asmodeus in, or he's around you because of me, um, you're gonna recognize him by his very drill sergeant kind of behavior. You know what I mean? I mean, no offense. I mean, no offense, but he has a very drill sergeant kind of behavior. So that wrath, just like in the army, because drill sergeants in the army, they are very wrathful, but they're focused wrath. Like, they're motivating you, or they're specific. The way they're drilling you is for a specific reason. So it's the same thing for that wrath thing that you feel, right? It's focused. It's not craziness. It's not, just going crazy for no reason. It's very focused. You know what you're saying, and you know it makes sense, and you're very logical about how you're doing it. It's just that the way you're saying it, you might have a higher tone than usual, or you might use words that you wouldn't use usually, which you don't feel bad for using for some reason, you know. So, hey, it is what it is, man. That's how it feels like to work with Asmodeus. So you're not. I'm not saying not to worry and shit like that, but I'm kind of saying not to worry a little bit. You there's always case to worry when you're dealing with extra dimensional beings, interdimensional beings. There's always a cause of, being careful and, respectful and things, and being careful also too. Um, but me, I have fun. I have I'm not saying, well, they're teachers, you know. They're teachers, man. Like, so they're gonna teach you how to be happy with yourself, which is actually kind of like segues to whatever this guy, because I'm sure he watches me now, or not, you you know, but if he does watches this video, I totally agree with what he said about Asmodeus. Um, and it's very interesting, you know. It's very interesting. He had a Thor hammer, and I have a Thor hammer too. And I'm kind of like, because the Thor hammer thing, it doesn't come from a book. I didn't read about mixing Thor with Lucifer. I always had a connection with Odin. I always felt a certain connection with Norse mythology for some reason, you know. So I found it cool. I always found it cool. I always thought like Norse mythology was awesome, even as a kid, you know. So it was kind of interesting when I saw him with that on. I was like, oh, okay, another Luciferian wearing a Odin Thor necklace. That's kind of crazy. Um, Lifting the hammer. So yeah, I don't want to say it's fun. I don't want to say it's fun because I don't know what happens. I don't know what that means. So I don't want to say it's fun. But to me, I don't feel bad. Like, and what I mean by don't feel bad, I'm not gonna say I'm happy, but like I really don't feel bad about being angry. And it's weird. It's unusual. It's unusual. But I don't want to say fun because I don't know if it is supposed to be fun or if it's not supposed to be fun. So I don't want to say that because I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's offensive. I don't know if it's not offensive. So I just don't want to say fun. You know. Uh, like I said, if you want to notice him, you'll recognize his very drill sergeant behavior. You know what I mean? And you have to remain calm because he might say some shit. you know he might get into your fucking grill, and he might say some shit. You'll be like, bro, are you serious right now? But but you're supposed to take it. You're supposed to take it. Me, I didn't take it the first time. I knew it wasn't to hurt me, but I was like, yo, did he really just say that to me, man? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, so, but yeah, man. So it's kind of dope. It's dope. That's my experience with Asmodeus. That's my experience with Asmodeus. Maybe you had a different experience with Asmodeus. Me, that's the experience I had. Um, so I'm not. It's pretty cool. It's different. It's a change of pace. It's definitely different. It's definitely not a usual thing. And the thing is, it's like Kali, Kali Ma, right? That's another character that's always, you know, put a bad light on, but Kali Ma is actually, a god that, helps you out with your ego. She basically kills ego trips. Like if you ego tripping, she's gonna kill it, right? She's gonna end that shit. And mostly in all cultures, people see Kali as a representation of death a representation of destruction and shit like that. But she can get in front of your enemies. She can get in the grills of your enemies, but I also at the same time, um, she also takes care of your own ego, because sometimes some of your problems might be the start of your problem might be because of your ego. So she's gonna root out the core issue, and then and then she's gonna kill it. And the funny part is that's that's what she likes to do. Like she likes that, doing that more than anything else. It's like I think she actually eats. I think that's how she actually eats. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but it's just the amount of enjoyment she gets from doing that is unusual for a spirit. Um, I haven't seen any. I haven't known any spirit that takes this amount of enjoyment out of destroying the ego, right? Because like I said, Asmodeus is disciplined inhibition, right? It's kind of like he's more like a teacher than I would say a destroyer. Even though he is a destroyer, but I guess when he destroy, he's still teaching or something. I don't know, because it's very different compared to Kalima. It's two different things. The reason why I'm talking about that's because of her behavior, the way you recognize her. Like for a entity that basically looks like a demon, like a run in the mill demon, right? Um, you feel when she is working with you, you feel very childish. Like you're very happy and you're very like you kid around and you're very happy. You're not enraged, right? Unlike Asmodeus, where your natural everyday self is just wrath, but but Kalima is very different. You feel like joking around and shit like that, and that's not what she looks like. She doesn't look like somebody that likes to joke around, but she's very she doesn't joke around, but you will joke around. She's not gonna joke around. I've noticed because when I tried to get closer to her, she kind of disappeared. And when I tried giving her some offerings, she was very reluctant on receiving the offerings. And the worst part is I even had some synchronicity because I was trying to get some dates to give her and shit, and there's not a lot of dates here, and I was like, man, I'm pretty sure she would like some dates, right? And so I went to the only store I knew where they had dates, and I knew like there was probably a very high percentage that there wasn't going to be any dates. I still went at the grocery store to want to get there, and there was only one pack of dates left, dude. And she still didn't want it. Like, I was like, okay, that was weird, and again, that's not usual. It's an unusual thing. It just goes to show you how much she enjoys what she does, you know. And she disappeared after that. And the reason why she disappeared after that because she wanted me to go see her positive self and not her negative self. Because Kalima is the negative self, but she's actually Perjurna or something. I butchered that name. I'm sorry, but her positive self, who is the wife of Vishnu, that's the one that you should talk to all the time. and then there's Kalima, you know, the negative aspect, you know, the destroyer. So there's the light and the dark. She has a light side and a dark side. And you know, and her light side is her original side, so it's only normal if you get to know the original side, um, you know, which I haven't done yet. You know, as distasteful and shameful as that is, I haven't done that yet because I always had an affinity with Kalima. I don't really know Perjurna like I know Kalima, but I will. You know, I just didn't get around to it. So it's just to show you the difference of personalities. They're very distinct. There's no way you can mistake yourself within the personalities, bro, unless one of them decides to play a cruel joke on you and tries to act, which will happen often. And you know, and they try to act like they're, you know, somebody else, but they're not. Anyway, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. And you know, which is on purpose because, you know, there's in the Matrix everything is built to destroy your ass. So you know, um, yeah. So that's all I had to say. This video is too damn long. I see you guys later. And I don't know who's next because this is kind of like a horoscope thing. It's kind of like a horoscope wheel. Once you enter a dimension, you start seeing who inhabits the dimensions and they have their time periods. So I don't know who's next. Um, I'm kind of worried about who's gonna be. I'm kind of worried about who's gonna be next. You know, I don't know, but for some reason, I really hope it's Belial. It's just such a cool name, Belial. Like this. Anyway, so I have no idea who Belial is. I have no clue. I don't know if I want to know. I don't know if I want to know who Belial is, but uh, I hope he's next because I'm kind of curious. I hope it's not at my own detriment. I hope nothing bad happens. God damn it. Uh, but I'm really curious about Belial. But I don't want to concentrate on him because I don't want to, you know, end Asmodeus's process until he's actually finished with what he's doing. So you know that's why I'm not trying to catch up on Belial. I catch up when the time comes because I don't even know if he's next. I just have this feeling. I'm hoping and I have this feeling that it might be Belial. I'm kind of like interested in who he might be, if he's good or not. You know, there's one guy you have to stay away from. You know, Nergal is not a good guy, and you know he's Nergal is no one. He is just a bad guy, and I'm not gonna say nobody likes him. There's probably people that like him for some reason, but you know, me, oh shit. I mean, like it's oh boy. It's night and day. Me and Nergal, it's fucking night and day. So I'm just saying, like, stay away from Nergal. He's very powerful. He's not somebody to fuck with. Um, do not. I repeat, do not fuck with Nergal, dude. He will fuck your whole day up, dude. He will fuck your whole day up, man. Do not mess with this guy. Um, shit. Even Lucifer, like, you know, don't do it. Right? Like he's there and he's there. We just leave him alone. You know what I mean, bro? We just let him do what he does, and whatever that is, just don't, you know, just focus on what you want. Don't focus on Nergal. Um, I'm just saying, because you might want to read a book or something, or go, you might get curious and go on Google and start Googling shit. I'm just saying, stay away from Nergal. Do not invite Nergal ever. Trust me, it's that bad. If that's, whatever. And in case he does come around, you'll notice who he is, because he actually looks good. You know what I mean? Like he's a good looking demon. So if you see a handsome man pop out of nowhere talking shit that you don't get, and you don't want to understand, that's probably Nergal. Close the TV, go outside, go breathe some air, smoke a cigarette. Do not think about him anymore, bro. Do whatever you have to do. Take a shower, whatever. Just don't get involved with that dude. So anyway, this video is too damn long. Like I said before, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. And don't forget to subscribe, man.